Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of AndrewsFootball.com. Welcome to my video, the 8th greatest Chief of all time. Now, if you've been watching my series, you know that number 10 is Otis Taylor. Number 9 is Jamaal Charles. And this video is a little different than the other two videos because this video, I really think that this is where the disagreements are going to start. What I have and what most people have is going to be a little different. But this particular player is one of my favorite all-time Kansas City Chiefs. He is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and he is the Chiefs' all-time sack leader. He is also a huge reason why the Kansas City Chiefs won more games in the 90s than any other football team. When I said Chiefs sack leader, you had to know I was referring to Derrick Thomas. Now, unlike my first two videos where I had to explain why I had these two players in the all-time 10 greatest Chiefs of all time, this video I kind of have to defend why do I have them ranked so low. There's three big reasons why I have Derrick Thomas only at 8. Number one, no ring. Despite the greatness, Derrick Thomas never won a championship for the Kansas City Chiefs. When I break down the greatest Chiefs of all time, I'm going to give a player who helped the Kansas City Chiefs win a Super Bowl or a championship a little more credibility than somebody who didn't. Number two, despite Derrick Thomas being the greatest pass rusher in the history of the Kansas City Chiefs, that's undisputed. He was not a good run defender. And he was not able to, the Chiefs did not even use him in pass coverage. Now, linebackers traditionally stuff the run, cover a little bit of the pass, and rush the passer. Derrick Thomas rushed the passer better than anybody, but he was not a factor against the run, and he couldn't cover despite having about 4.4 speed. Supposedly, even at 32, he still could run a 4.4, but he was a complete liability in pass coverage. So the thing is with Derrick Thomas, he rushed the passer better than anybody, but he's a one-trick pony. And number three is that I've been a Chiefs season ticket holder since 1989, so I saw Derrick Thomas' whole career live. I saw everything in person. I saw the 7-sack game. I thought he had a better game against the Raiders where he had 6 sacks in 3 quarters. I saw so many great things that he did, but there was also weeks, sometimes months, where he was not a factor, where he didn't make a play, he didn't do something. He was inconsistent. Some games he would be great, other games zero. And it wouldn't just be 1 or 2. Sometimes it'd be a stretch of like 3 to 5 weeks where he did nothing. This was consistent his whole career. You always had to account for Derrick Thomas. You always had to game plan. But Derrick Thomas didn't always produce. Derrick Thomas wasn't a guy that you could count on week in and week out. And I would say it's not really a complete factor, but Derrick Thomas was also famous for being a terrible practice player and falling asleep in meetings. I didn't account that into my rankings, but it is something to kind of think about. So just kind of recap why I only have Derrick Thomas as my 8th greatest Chief of all time. No ring. He is a one-trick pony. And he did have streaks where he didn't do anything. He was inconsistent. But he does have the following Chiefs records. 19 fumble recoveries, which I didn't even know until I started doing research for this. 41 forced fumbles. 126.5 sacks. 3 safeties. And 4 defensive touchdowns. Derrick Thomas is hands down, unquestionably the greatest pass rusher in the history of the Kansas City Chiefs, and he is my 8th greatest Kansas City Chief of all time. But what do you think? Do I have Derrick Thomas ranked too high? Do I have Derrick Thomas ranked too low? What is your opinion? Now, next Monday, I'm going to reveal the 7th greatest Chief of all time. If you haven't already, there's this button right down here. See it, see it, see it. Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. I'll see you next Monday.